What's up, guys? Second video on equilibrium constant. This one we're looking at working out what our reaction moles are, okay, what our equilibrium moles are. So last video we looked at working out the expression and working out what the units are. If you haven't seen that, make sure you look at that first, and I'll put the link right up here. Before we start though, please like, subscribe, share. Let's get into it. So I always think about I.C.E. So we need to know our initial moles, we need to work out our change in moles, and then work out our equilibrium moles. Sort of put that in a little table to work this stuff out. Now, this is roughly what a question looks like. Now, normally this is going to be contained within some text, and you need to sort of extract the text and put the information in the table. And generally what we're given are the initial moles of our reactants and the equilibrium moles of one of our either reactants or products. Now, we're not going to be told this, but essentially we're starting off with our reactants and then making our products. So we start off with initial moles of 0 for our products. Now, what we need to look at is what our change is. So essentially we've been given our equilibrium moles of B and our starting moles of B. Clearly that is a difference of -1. Now what we look at is our moles to work out how these interact with each other. We sort of looked at similar sorts of ideas in reacting maths and things like that. So if you've not seen that before, or you're not sure about these molar ratio things, I'll put a link to that up in the corner again. So 1 to 1, so -1. So we're left with 1 mole of A. Now, A and B are reacting to make C and D. So where we've lost stuff over here, we've gained stuff over here. So if we've lost 1 mole, now we look at our molar ratios. Again, we've got a 1 to 2, so we need to multiply that by 2. So +2 +1, and we're left with those moles. Now what we might eventually have to do is then work out our concentration. Again, that's something worth looking at if you've not looked at calculating concentration before. Another link I'll put up in the corner. Here, we're given our volume in decimeters cubed. Happy days, it's 1 decimeter cubed. Remember, concentration is always moles per dm cubed. So we've got our moles here. Now we're going to divide it by our decimeters cubed. In this case, it's just 1. So 1, 2, 2, 1. On to the next. So this time we've got our initial moles again of our reactants and our equilibrium moles of one of our products. We're not going to be told this, but we're always going to assume that we're starting with 0 of C and D. So +2 has been gained. Now we look again at our molar ratios. 2 to 1, so +1. Here again. Again, these have reacted to make these, so where we've gained stuff here, we will have lost it on our reactant side. 2 to 2, so I don't need to change that number, -2. 1, sorry. And then here, I need to think about +2 divided by 2 and times by 3. So there I get to -3. This time, we've got a concentration of 2 decimeters cubed. So when I'm working out, a volume of 2 decimeters cubed. So now when I'm working out my concentration, I'm dividing by 2. So I've got 0.5, 0.5, 1, and 0.5. And again, we'll look at how we use those in the next video. Last one. So again, 0 plus 1. Now we look at our molar ratios, divided by 2 and times by 3 plus 1, -1.5, sorry. And minus 0.5. Again, 2 to 1. This time, I'm going to divide all of my numbers by 0.5. So there I get to 1, 7, and 2. Again, we'll look at in the next video. So fairly simple. Why don't you give these a go and see how you get on. Tricky thing here, why does the volume not matter for this very specific examples? Let me just plug some values in here. Let's say 10, let's say 3, let's say 2, 3, 2. Onto the, feel free to screenshot that onto the previous question. So again, this time, KC, remember, is always going to be our reactants, our products, over our reactants. So in this case, we've got our concentration of NO2 squared, because of our 2 in front of it, over the concentration N2O4. Now let's work out our units. Again, fairly easy one, this one. Cancels to make 1. Our units are moles per decimeter cubed. Hope that helps. Join us for the next video where we sort of look at all of the calculations all together. Hope you get on well with the question. Hope you got on well with this one. See you next time. Happy revising till then.